Welcome back to BELOWDEXPERTS. We feel like a little bit more of a real podcast.
Yeah, this is weird. I feel like it's a lot more responsibility now.
Yeah, I feel like people are actually watching us, but no one is besides my husband, our producer in the corner.
He's taking his shirt off for some reason.
Oh, man. Okay, so we are coming back and we are going to talk about episodes 2 and 3.
Yes.
Right? I posted a video earlier and I was like 3 and 4. Like, I'm really confused. So last week was just episode 1, just the premiere.
Mm-hmm.
This week was episode 2 and 3. And I guess we're going to keep having back-to-back episodes. They don't really like give you a warning. So we are going to be covering both 2 and 3 today. 2 hours of Below Deck, one podcast.
Yeah, they didn't even tell us.
I know. I was actually pretty mad. I was like, I have to watch 2 hours of this. No, I'm not mad. I love watching Below Deck, obviously, but it would have been nice to know it was going to be a 2-hour event.
Yeah, they could have looked up our email and let us know months
Seriously,
ago.
this is a very serious podcast.
It's been around for years.
And the fact that we weren't clued in hurts.
It hurts a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, because we're a part of the Bravo family, and I don't feel like it right now. I really don't.
I know. I feel like they forgot, and they don't value us. And anyways,
We send so many listeners.
We have
so many people their way, and it's just ridiculous.
yeah. All right. So anyway, we don't know if this is going to be the format from now on where we cover like 2 episodes in one podcast, or if we're going to split it up. So we're still kind of like playing around with that idea. But for today, it's going to be 2 episodes. So it's probably good too, because we both talked and episode 2 was kind of slow.
Yeah,
There was not a ton that happened. But what do we want to start with episode 2?
I mean, I feel like the biggest thing that happened was, again, like the last 5 minutes of them going out to the bar. And it wasn't as dramatic as most seasons, but the bosun and the third stew, it was just a weird situation. I don't know if you want to start with that or something earlier in the episode.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. So, well, let's start off with where they ended on episode 1, where it was those 2 guests that jumped in the water and they made us think that they were going to go back to the dock, and it was this whole dramatic thing. It ended up not being this big dramatic thing.
Yeah.
They were like not the best guests, but they didn't go back to the dock. And yeah, let me see what my first note is. Go ahead.
Sorry, we're new to podcasting. But yeah, so the whole cliffhanger from the first episode was the guy cursing out the captain.
Right.
And like you thinking that they're going back to port and they're not going to get a tip, and it's this whole big thing. And then the second episode is literally the guy walks up to Captain Jason and is like, "Hey, I'm really sorry. I was drunk. It won't happen again. I respect you as a captain." And that was like 9 seconds of the show.
Right.
And then nothing was ever said about it again.
Yeah. And then as far as those guests, they stayed on that the second episode was with them for a while.
Yeah.
And they were just not great guests.
No, very dramatic, which good for the show, bad for the boat.
Right.
Yeah, just super, super dramatic. And
Like they didn't even like each other.
yeah, no, they did not enjoy spending time with each other at all.
It was as if like, and maybe this is the case where like the primary grabbed a bunch of her random friends that
Yeah.
like maybe they didn't know each other well, maybe they don't like each other, but who's going to turn down like
Going on Below Deck.
going in Below Deck,
Yeah.
going on a yacht in general? And I don't know if like, I don't know, I got the vibe that like a couple of them just wanted to be dramatic because it's like Below Deck.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were not great guests. We were not sure about the tip.
We were not.
We did not know whether it was going to be good or bad. I was guessing not very good.
I was too. Yeah, I was very surprised.
Yeah, but it was pretty good. What was it? 17,500.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So then yeah. And then we got introduced to the third stew, Margot. What do you think about the new third stew?
She is all over the place.
Yeah, I think I like her, but I'm not sure yet.
I think she's only been in yachting for 6 months.
Okay.
And she's from the Midwest, and one of the big things that they kept playing before commercial, right when we got back to the show after commercial, she's like, yeah, I've never really had a boyfriend that wasn't, mean to me.
Oh, yeah, yeah. She's like, I've never dated a good guy.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was just like, okay, well, I don't see a trend breaking here on this drama TV show.
Right. Yeah, she's from Wisconsin, which I didn't pick up when she first said it, but I was like, oh, our neighbor.
Yeah. But like after a little bit of hearing her talk, you're like, yeah, you're from the Midwest.
Yep.
Like,
yeah. And so, yeah, I think I like her. We don't know much about her yet, but we do know that Luke the bosun took an interest.
yes. Very, very interested in her.
Tell us what you think about him.
So I think he's an asshole. and I know it's a dramatic TV show, but there was one part where he's like, I'm just super into her. Like, I can see something going with her. Like, I'm just so into this girl. And I'm like, you have not known she existed for more than maybe 14 hours.
Yeah. And I think he said something like, I was in a good relationship and I like completely like messed it up or something like that. Like,
yeah,
kind of like something, I don't know. I want to like him, but I just don't know yet. I don't know if he's like, he seems like a good bosun.
Yeah.
But maybe a douche in real life.
it could go either way because, when he messed up and he was talking to the captain was like, you screwed up. This needs to change. And he's like, yes, I'm sorry I screwed up. This will change. I'm like, wow, that's a breath of fresh air. I've never seen that on this show.
Yeah, that's true. It is always nice to see people take responsibility for things.
And there is a lot of that this season so far, but then like everything else he says is just douchey.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
He's got the earring.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna bring it up, but yeah.
No offense to other people that wear earrings.
Yeah, I don't.
No, so yeah, he like took a liking to her or whatever, and that was basically what they led us up to. But I don't think, like you mentioned before, like with them going out, that wasn't until episode 3.
Oh,
they like
yeah.
cliffhangered that. So that's
did.
When we say nothing happened the second episode, like I'm looking at my notes. The only other thing that happened was Captain Jason went to dinner with those guests. Mm-hmm. Chef didn't do a great job.
Yeah.
Like she didn't do a terrible job, but like Captain Jason like had some thoughts and went to her, and she also like literally took responsibility and was like, yeah, the dessert was all kind of messed up and all over the place. And that was that. Like very unlike Below Deck, where like very unproblematic.
I feel like the producers are like, what are you doing? You messed up and you took responsibility for it.
Can you not?
Like, get over yourself.
What are these good people? Jesus.
Who hired these people?
Yeah. So yeah, Chef, that was like literally another like 60 seconds of that. And then I said to you later, I was like, Chef kind of scares me though. Like she comes off to me like someone who keeps her cool like 95% of the time.
Yeah.
And you don't want to see that 5%.
And they'll make her show that 5%. We got a long season ahead of us.
Right. So yeah, she seems funny. She said something about, gosh, I wish I could remember what she said about like Captain Jason and like thinking he's hot.
Oh, what did she say?
I know, I can't remember exactly what she said, but it was actually pretty funny.
It was. And then there's one part where she's like, I know I'm a good chef, but I'm not perfect at it, but I'm a perfect shagger or something like that.
And it always has something to do with Captain Jason.
Yeah.
Like
or the one dinner, I think this is further into episode 3, but she was really nervous that Captain Jason wasn't going to like her food. And he comes in and is like, hey, you did a really good job. Gives her a hug. And she's like, never let go.
Maybe that's what I'm referring to.
Yeah.
That like she said something like, don't let go. Yeah. But like I said, other than that, episode 2. Oh, at the end of episode 2, we found out who got the helmet.
Oh, yeah.
So for anybody who didn't watch season 1, which I assume everybody did if you're
Yeah.
watching season 2, but maybe not.
I mean, welcome in if you haven't,
Yeah.
but just a little weird.
Yeah. There is this disco ball helmet that Captain Jason gives out at the end of each charter to the person who, like, not to like embarrass the person, but basically like who messed up, who needs to like step it up for the next charter.
Yeah, who needs to get better and who needs to like calm down a little bit and wear a disco ball in their head
Right.
for a night.
So because we didn't even mention this, but it's not like it was a big deal. They didn't cover it very extensively, but the swim ladder,
Oh yeah.
they forgot to put it up and they lost it.
Yeah, and that kind of seems like something that would probably just happen on
Yeah.
a normal season, but they're just pulling for anything.
Right, because nobody's being
yeah,
like dramatic right now. So the deck team lost that. So Captain Jason was like, okay, to Luke the bosun, like, you get the helmet because of the swim ladder. So they're really reaching.
Yeah.
But that's good because I actually don't know. I don't really like when Below Deck like comes out hot with the drama. Like, if you start at a 10 and stay at a 10 for the whole season, you get kind of tired of it.
Oh yeah, it's exhausting to just see the same people make the same mistakes.
Right.
Like, just makes me think of season 1 of regular Below Deck, where the one stewardess just keeps doing dramatic things, getting drunk, and you know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Oh my God.
Where she like sneaks out of the boat and the captain has to like chase her down and stuff.
And then she jumped off the boat and swam to another boat, and then they returned her to the boat.
Yeah,
like,
it's just a whole big thing.
Oh my God, yes. That's exactly what I'm referring to. Like, you just can't, I don't know. We like the drama, but it's got to be like perfectly placed.
Yeah, or just realistic.
Yes,
at
yeah.
the very
Also
least.
realistic. The other thing too, not to go like super off topic with, we're talking about Down Under, but like the past season of Sailing Yacht, which I know you haven't watched fully. Did
Not
you watch the
fully
last?
yet.
It was another like, I loved Sailing Yacht because like everybody just got along. Like even like Gary, the dynamic between like Gary and Daisy was like fun and whatever. This past season was just so dramatic with like, spoiler, but like love triangle between like Gary, Colin, and Daisy. And I see what they were trying to do, but like it just ended up like with everybody just hating each other. And like we were talking about every single dinner, there's drama within the first 5 minutes. And it's like, sometimes you just need a breather.
Yeah, you just want like one dinner for them to be like, hey, how's the food? It's pretty good.
It's pretty
How's your
good.
wine? It tastes pretty good. It's like, you don't have to make that a whole episode, but like, I need my heart rate to go down a little bit.
Yeah. So anyway, we're starting off a little slow with this, but it's okay. Like I think we'll, I'm sure, get into some drama. I think that's it for episode 2. Yeah, my last note was literally no drama at dinner. Wow.
Wow. Don't know if that's ever happened.
Okay. So then getting into episode 3, that's where we first see them go out. When are we, I can't remember, when are we introduced to the third, the new deckhand?
It is.
Was it at the end of episode 2 into 3?
It's towards the beginning of episode 3.
Yes. Yep. My first note of episode 3 is Luke kissed Margot. She was surprised, but then she said she has a crush on him.
Yeah, that's a whole weird thing. Like, and I don't understand it because I'm a dumb guy. But she was like, because he did the whole like surprise kiss thing where he's like, close your eyes, and then he kissed her, and she was like, whoa.
Yeah.
But then she's talking to Aisha, I believe, and she's like, that really surprised me. Like, I don't know if I'm okay with that. And Aisha's like, well, like, did you like it? And she's like, yeah, I have a huge crush on him.
Right.
I just was surprised by it.
Which,
and it's just a weird back and forth where she's like, I wanted it, but I didn't want it. I liked it, but I hated it.
well, and like, here's the thing, not to be like the Debbie Downer, but if it would have been a whole lot different if he like wasn't attractive and she wasn't attracted to him, like she would have freaked out. Like, and so I think the moral of it is you don't do that.
Yeah, no, it's just not a good move.
Yeah, but like I think it wasn't a big deal because she does kind of have a crush on him or whatever, but don't do that.
Yeah.
From a female, don't do that. Like I think she
No.
handled it the best she could, but like I don't know, it just puts her in a weird spot cuz like what if she didn't have those feelings?
Yeah, and it's just a weird, not cool thing to do to someone,
Yeah.
especially like I said earlier, you haven't known her for a full day yet.
Right.
But yeah, I agree. It's just a weird, bad move to do to anybody.
Yeah. But later in the episode, he does actually come to her and apologize. And it did seem like I thought it seemed like a genuine like apology.
So I did too. But before I came over here, I was rewatching the third episode.
Okay.
Because I was just like pretty tired last night when we were watching it and I didn't remember everything.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes up to apologize to her. And I'm not going to get it like spot on retelling it, but he's basically like, I'm sorry I did that. I didn't want to make you uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, no, I'm sorry. I didn't want to make you think that I didn't like it or
Right.
if I was uncomfortable. And he says something along the lines of like, okay, like I'm not sorry then. I just didn't want you to be mad at me. And like,
I didn't even remember him saying that last thing.
it could have come out wrong,
Mm-hmm.
but it just seems like, okay, I'm off the hook. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
actually sorry.
Dang, because like he had us in the first half.
Yeah, he really did.
He had me in the first half. That's all I remembered. But yeah, and like, ladies, don't like. I feel like she was like, "Oh no, like I don't want you to feel uncomfortable. Like, don't do that. Like, he
Yeah.
did it. Don't like. You don't have to like be mad or whatever. But also, don't like completely say like, no, my bad. Like, no, it wasn't like." You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
she's like, oh, I didn't want. It's almost like she turned the tables on herself. Like, no, like, yeah, she could have been like, I appreciate the apology. Like, yeah, it was a little surprising. Moving on. Like, she didn't have to be like, oh no, I don't want you to feel bad.
Yeah.
I hate that, but yeah.
I know, and it's kind of a Midwest thing to do too.
Yeah.
Like you just want everyone to be okay.
That is really true.
even though it's like someone kind of screwed you over, did something to you that you didn't like. You're like, oh well, my bad.
Right.
And yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Don't just immediately apologize about someone else's actions
Right.
towards you.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, there was that, and that's basically the end of that for now. Like within the episode, like between Luke and Margot, nothing else really happened between them.
Well, they go back to the boat, and they like make out here, make out there, and he's very like, I don't want to say pushy, but very direct with her. Like, hey, let's get into the hot tub. Hey, go get your swimsuit on. Let's get in the hot tub.
Oh.
And then he's telling, I forget who, but he's telling another deckhand, like, hey, fill up the hot tub. We're getting in the hot tub.
But then it didn't happen, right?
It didn't.
No.
And I don't know. It was just a little weird. It wasn't anything crazy.
Well, tell our listeners what
God.
your prediction is. Well, first, okay, no. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. First, who is our new deckhand?
It is the CEO himself. It is Culver
Culver.
from season 1.
Yes, and I think we have mixed feelings on Culver.
Yeah, I still can't put a pin on him.
I can't either, honestly. Like I know we talked about this and when we like recapped season 1 because we didn't know Culver was going to be back. But what he did with Bertini just still rubs me the wrong way. That like him and Bertini were so close, and then like he had to have known she had feelings for him, but like he definitely didn't for her, and then like we never really got like clarification on that. At times he can be like this super fun guy doing stuff for the guests, and then sometimes like completely opposite. Like can't figure him out.
Yeah, the what does he say? The chief entertainment officer? Is
Yes.
that it? Yeah.
Yes, the CEO.
Yeah. I think we would have a really good grasp of his personality and who he is if we got conclusion with him and Bertini,
Right.
because it was just kind of like, they're in a weird relationship, and then the season ends.
Right.
We don't get to find out what happened afterwards.
Well, there was also like a really weird way he left the boat with like he had like a little bit of an issue with Captain Jason at the end of like season 1, 2. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And they did talk about that briefly, which whatever, like that, you know, somebody can change and be totally different. Joao is a great example of that. Do you know who that is? He was the bosun on Med. Well, I think his first season on Med, like completely off topic, but he was, I don't know what season it was, but he was a deckhand or like lead deckhand or something. And then the next season he was bosun, and him and Captain Sandy had like a really good relationship. But he was a total kind of like douche his first season and then totally turned it around the next one.
I remember this dynamic with him and Captain Sandy, but I just can't place what he looks like.
He's from South Africa too, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, that's just an example of like somebody can be like totally different. So Culver may be totally different this season. We'll have to see. But
yeah, I mean the captain brought him back.
Right. But anyways, what is your prediction?
So I think Culver and the chef are going to get together.
Oh wait, that's not even the prediction I was talking about.
Okay, what's the prediction you're talking about?
Culver, what is going to happen with Culver and like his position?
Oh.
You remember what you said?
I think Luke the bosun is going to get fired, and I think he's going to take over as bosun.
Yeah. And when he said that, I was like, I can see that happening. Like, Luke is doing okay. What?
I thought you were talking about the chef.
No. I'm like, well, I do remember you saying that. That would be, I would love that actually.
Yeah,
like,
she seems pretty cool.
she seems in charge.
Yeah.
And Culver seems submissive. So I would
Brad's
love
over
to
there
see
laughing
that.
at us.
But yeah, no, I think those are both pretty like good predictions.
Yeah. I was like, you didn't really set me up for this, but okay, I'll say it.
Yeah, really weird transition, but okay.
Yeah, the second one makes a lot more sense now.
Oh man, let me see, what else do I have? My notes are all over the place. I literally have this boat kind of sucks, LMAO.
It kind of does though.
Not, I don't want to say I wouldn't go on this boat.
Oh,
I
yeah.
absolutely would. But if I had to choose between like the most recent boat on like Med,
Oh yeah,
or
that one
even
is
like
nice.
yeah, like or like even some of the older, I'm only on like season 5 of regular Below Deck because I've like gone through it.
Mm-hmm.
Even that boat though, like I don't know, this one just seems
Yeah.
like I wouldn't pay as much for this one.
Yeah.
Let's
I
just say
wouldn't
that.
Bring my nicest clothes. It's and they keep saying it's like an adventure boat, right? Or an adventure yacht. But they haven't done anything that like other boats don't do.
Right,
Like,
that's true.
yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know, we'll have to see. I want a sea bob so bad.
Yeah. You say that every time they pull it out.
That's like on my bucket list, like obviously like going on a yacht, but like also if you just gave me a sea bob, I could make do. It seems like so much fun. And then to end episode 3, remember there was like a little tiff between Laura and Aisha?
Yeah.
That's what I feel like they're leading us into. Like, I don't know. I don't want to say like I kind of saw this coming with Laura, but like I just think they're like leading us up to not liking her, because remember she also spent like 30 minutes in the shower.
I thought it was like an hour.
Yeah, well, she took like an hour and a half to get ready. But
Oh,
she
that's
like
what it
was in
was,
the
yeah.
actual shower for like 30 or 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So it seems like they're leading us up to not liking her.
Yeah, but I still think they're really, really pushing for something. Because if I remember correctly, the whole thing between her and Aisha was just like Laura being like, this isn't the way I would do it, but you're my chief stew, so I'm going to do it this way.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's a pretty good response overall from what we've seen on Below Deck in the past to like...
Yeah, I could agree with that. It's just kind of like the way she said it. Like you've seen it before in like second stews. And I think this is the issue. Like, again, I'm a total expert here, right? I've totally been on a boat and been a stew before.
Dozens.
Tons. But I think that's the issue when you do like chief stew, second stew, third stew. Like, for example, on Sailing Yacht the past, I think, couple seasons, they've only done like junior stews.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's what happens when you like label someone as like second and third. And usually you see like the second trying to boss the third around, or you see the second thinking they know more than the chief. Like, I don't know. I could be totally wrong, but like you usually just see that dynamic when you like label it like that. And I don't know if that's what we're going to see out of her or not.
Yeah, and now that you say that, it is a little weird with just having 3 stews that there's a first, second, and a third.
Right.
Because the second never needs power over the third.
No, and it's not good if they have it. Like,
yeah.
I think, and again, I don't know if it's a difference in pay, maybe.
I don't know.
I mean, or the second is usually the one doing service with the chief. The third's usually in the laundry and the cleaning and the housekeeping or whatever.
You know what it is?
Oh, no.
It's
what?
for their resumes.
Oh.
Like, I was a second stew for this boat. I was a second stew for this boat. Third stew.
Yeah. Because I don't know what season it was, but that makes sense because I think someone got promoted to like second stew, like right at the end of the season, or the chief stew like promoted them so that they could put it on.
It was I think second. I can't
Was
remember.
it Sailing Yacht?
No, it was Med the second to last season.
Okay.
And it was Courtney who got promoted to second.
Okay. But yeah, that makes sense. But I don't know. It's just that dynamic just doesn't seem like it works all the time.
Yeah, it's just a little weird because, I mean, there's 3 people covering the boat for most of the day.
Yeah.
When does the second see the third more than a couple hours?
Yeah. Yeah. It just doesn't seem like it is productive for the boat, but I can see the resume thing. So.
And I mean, it's good for the drama of the TV show too.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's it. Is there any other things that you wanted to cover that we didn't?
I have a bunch of stuff written down, but I can't read my own handwriting. So I think I'm good. I think I'm all set.
We do get introduced to the second charter.
Yeah.
But like there's been nothing crazy that's happened.
Yeah, the only thing is like the crew is judging them a lot for saying that they're paying with daddy's money and they always want ice in their wine for some reason.
Yeah, it's like a weird, like the primary is like, paying with his dad's money and like invited his friends basically. There was an issue where one of the guests stepped on glass.
Oh, I did want to talk about that.
What's his name? What's that deckhand? Adam, yeah. Adam seems to be like having some issues.
Yeah, it's a weird dynamic because Luke is obviously the bosun. Adam is military trained, and then Harry has more experience on yachts.
Yes.
So it's a weird power struggle between those 3, and Adam just seems like he thinks he knows everything because he was in the military. He knows how to do this. He knows how to do that.
Doesn't know how to swim.
Doesn't know how to swim.
I'm going to continue to bring that up.
Paid $20 for certifications.
Which I don't understand. I guess we don't know what branch of the military he was in.
They might have said it, but it wasn't memorable.
But I can't imagine. I don't know. To me, like, can you be in the military without knowing how to swim?
I mean, I think you can be like a Marine, but
I don't know.
I don't think you can be in the Navy.
I was going to say the Navy would make the most sense. I don't know. But yeah, so like Lane was saying, it's like, he's military. Harry has more experience on yachts. I think Adam's had like a couple of things where he's just kind of gotten mad about like really random things. Yeah,
him and Culver were putting in the big slide on the side of the boat, and he's like freaking out because I think like a strap broke or he like crushed his finger or something just really small and minute. And then Culver's like in his like interview after him like throwing a fit, he's like, dude, calm down.
You're literally on a super yacht.
Yeah, we're on a yacht in Australia. Calm down, dude. Things aren't that bad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, what was that? What were we starting with though? I feel like I had a point that we haven't reached yet, but
Adam and the rest of the deckhand, or the glass.
The glass, yeah. Sorry, I was like, I feel like this thought isn't finished. But basically, Luke was like, yeah, we're gonna have to do something about this because Adam was the one that like did the overnight or whatever, and didn't like sweep up the glass, so they're gonna have issues with that.
Yeah, and it was really, really weird, and like, I guess it's not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things, but like, they broke the glasses, I think, during lunch the previous day, and then continued to sit there with bare feet.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Like, multiple people were sitting there before he had his foot cut.
Yeah.
But I don't know what I'm trying to say, that they put it there for drama.
No, I see what you're saying though. Like, and the other thing is, like, if I was a guest on that, I actually wouldn't be very happy because I'd be like, you literally told me I can't wear shoes.
Yeah.
Like, so the fact that there's glass is a huge deal.
Oh, I know. And like, that just takes you out of a bunch of things. Like,
I
do I really
know.
want to get in salt water with an open wound?
Oh my
Like,
God.
Can I go to bed at night without it being wrapped up? So I don't
We both
ruin
have
these white
traumatic
sheets?
cut foot stories.
Yeah, multiple. Multiple. One I'm still healing from.
Yeah, you have more than me. I just have one. Long story short, I was paddleboarding in San Diego. And, you know, I don't even know if we should call it paddleboarding. It was really just trying to survive with my super athletic friend and her husband. And we get on these paddle boards and they don't tell you about the super sharp rocks when you first get on it. So I slipped off my paddleboard and cut my foot within literally like the first 60 seconds we were out there. And truly what we're talking about, like it ruins the rest of your day.
Yeah.
And it's so difficult to heal. It's on the bottom of your foot. Like, so I would not be happy if I was paying for a super yacht that didn't clean up glass. I cut my foot.
And especially if they were like, oh, you can wear these sandals or go barefoot. They're always like, nope, barefoot.
Yeah. I don't even know if they give them the option for the sandals. Maybe they do.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. They don't give them the option. So it's like, I'd be even more mad about that.
Right. Yeah. Did you want to tell any of your foot cut stories?
Well, you have another one, that bike, the tandem bicycle you were on.
Oh, tandem bicycle.
I think it was a tandem bike. You're riding a bike in sandals and you cut your toe.
Yeah. Well, yes. That was when I was in like middle school. It wasn't a tandem. It's so funny because it was literally on the road that I live on now. It was on this road. I was biking from my parents' house to my friend's house in sandals, and it was like anybody who's rode a bike, like when you're going downhill, you don't have to pedal. Mm-hmm. But like I was still pedaling, and you know how your feet are going really fast, and my foot like slipped off, and I literally cut off like the top of my big toe.
Yeah, it was really gross.
It was pretty bad. I forgot about that one because I guess I associate that with big toe, not foot.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I had when we were in the Keys.
Yep, that's the one I was thinking of.
We had a few drinks and it was late at night, and we had like from the porch we had wooden steps going down to a flat piece of concrete, and I think I thought there was one more step or one less step, and just.
Ooh, that was so bad.
Yeah, and my foot slipped through my like sandal and just right onto the concrete, and it
my foot
really
hurts.
Gross.
Oh God, it was so bad. But again, just the worst spot. And you're on vacation, and there's sand and salt water, and like, oh God.
I didn't even think about the sand.
Oh God.
Yeah, and then a few weeks ago, I dropped a skateboard on my big toe. Don't even skateboard. Wasn't even trying to.
Yep, just gonna throw that in there.
Did you want to see it from the podcast? Okay.
I'm good. No, I don't think your feet look great in general.
No, pretty bad. That's why I got socks on right now, and why I couldn't go on below deck.
They wouldn't accept you because of your feet. They'd be like, everything else is fine. The knees we're not terribly happy about, but
for some reason I thought you were going to say they wouldn't accept you because of your weight.
I mean, maybe they have those.
You would never say that to me. I don't know why
No.
I thought you would say that.
No, your knees. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, those are pretty bad.
Not your weight.
Bad feet, bad knees. Everything else is a little average.
Oh, well, if you're still here, congrats.
You're a trooper.
Yeah, you must think we're entertaining somewhat.
Or you're really into feet. One of the two.
But yeah, any other closing thoughts? That's all I had about those 2 episodes. I'm excited to keep going through the season.
Yeah. I don't really have anything. They're setting up the season pretty well, and I think a lot's going to happen.
Yeah, and we like to look at Captain Jason.
I mean, I don't, but what? Why would you say we?
Wait, what?
It's like gonna make a joke, but I'm like, wait, what?
Wait, what? Fine. I like to look at Captain Jason. A lot of people do. Okay, not just me. All right. Well, we will see you all next week, and yeah, that's all we got.
Yeah, see you then.
Bye.
Bye.